David Cross would like to have got a better strike on that. Beautifully pulled back by Trevor Brooking after one of his typical sinuous runs. That was Brush. Kidd. And now Megson. Eastoe, Megson again. Trying to get Kidd in, but West Ham got plenty of players back. This is Martin. Billy Bonds. Allen. Out to Holland. And this is Ross to Bailey. Oh, given away, and Holland so persistent. Ross in the way again, appeals for handball, not given. And in the end, Ross was just glad to relieve what was becoming a very difficult position for Everton, because they kept giving the ball away and Holland kept forcing them back. Up goes Cross, foul there. David Cross penalised. Shove in the back it might have been, but in the end Bonds and Martin between them, seeing the ball back to safety. Everton still leading 1-0, but West Ham looking all the time for a way to get a grip on the game. They're certainly doing so in midfield slowly, but they do need rather more from their front two, I would think, at this stage. Bonds and Martin have pushed forward to help them. Taken by Brooking. Up went Billy Bonds. What a save! Bonds sunk to his knees then. And Hodge produces his second outstanding save of the match. Bonds' header was bound for the far corner. And this time it's the left hand that turns the ball round. Away by Gidman. Brooking. Oh, they're all in there again, including Alvin Martin. And well played by Andy King. And now Kidd. And now Hartford. Now will Everton catch West Ham on the break? Not this time. Well, West Ham making a tremendous fight of it, and this fellow Bonds is leading it. But Brooking, for once, his control wasn't sure, and here's Eastoe to Ross. Kidd over on the left wing. Ball was out. Stewart, offside against Cross. "15 minutes gone in the second half. Everton lead by 1-0, but that won't be conclusive unless they can get a second and put the match beyond West Ham's reach, because at this stage West Ham are having more of the game, even though they've been forced back just for the moment. Hartford. This is the first time in the second half that Everton have really threatened the West Ham goal. They do have a free kick. Taken by Hartford. Oh, Isto! He was given an absolutely free header. As Hartford curled the free kick in, nobody picked up Isto, and Parks had to go down smartly to his left on an afternoon in which the goalkeepers are increasingly distinguishing themselves. That's Stewart, that's Pearson, that's off the foot of Bailey. Holland is coming in. Hopeful shouts for handball, but it's a corner. Away by King, but how far? Driven off by Ray Stewart, appeals for handball. I think it was Ross that was flattened by the shot, and West Ham thought it was a handball. Driven again, and a deflection too. The second shot was by Devonshire, and it caught another player's head, and Hodge still got behind it. But what about the first shot from Ray Stewart? That's the one that flattened Trevor Ross. Oh, what a tangle on the far side, and the linesman having to go in and separate the two players. It's all getting out of hand again. Brian Kidd and Ray Stewart getting very, very involved. Right under the linesman's nose, and Ray Stewart's already been booked. The linesman telling the referee exactly what happened behind his back. It was Kidd and Stewart who tangled and wouldn't let each other go. And the referee is going to show the red card. The referee is showing the red card. Now what's going to happen here? Brian Kidd is standing on the touchline wondering if it's him. Brian Kidd, who was sent off earlier this season against Wigan in the FA Cup, and Ray Stewart, the number 2 of West Ham, is also had the yellow card earlier today, and the linesman and Kidd are still talking, and still the arguments go on, and finally Kidd is being urged to go off. Brian Kidd is sent off for the second time in the FA Cup this season for fighting with Ray Stewart. And Everton now are down to 10 men. The man who scored from the penalty is sent off for fighting. And while all that was happening, Kidd is led away to the dressing room. Trevor Ross is still on his back in the opposing penalty area, having blocked the shot. Well, that incident happened right underneath the linesman's nose, and Brian Kidd, who's known to have a very fiery temperament, was scuffling away. And when the linesman told the referee what had occurred, it was Brian Kidd who got the red card. Well, what drama here. Ross still receiving prolonged attention. And the Everton players are still complaining to the referee about the sending off. And I wonder if Gordon Lee, with Kidd having gone off, will have to bring on Latchford anyway to redress the balance up front and bring somebody else off. Gordon Lee on his feet. Trevor Ross is also back on his. But I wonder now what Everton's tactics will be, because unless they push somebody else forward, they'll have to bring on Latchford as another striker to support Eastoe. Having said that, they are a goal up, and West Ham have got to get that goal back now against 10 men. With the crowd very, very much with them. On by Pearson, cross and lines going in, and away by Bailey. Eastoe and Martin. And Alvin Martin and Peter Eastoe falling out, and this semi-final now is on the verge of getting completely out of hand. The penalty laid the first embers, really. Then the sending off has put fuel on the fire, and unless we're careful, it's going to boil over completely, or unless Mr. Seal is careful, and Billy Bonds doing his level best to keep people calm. Eastoe. That was King. Rush for West Ham, and just a reminder, the score still Everton 1, West Ham 0. But West Ham have had the second half so far, and there goes Brooking. Trevor Ross's tackle that the referee seemed unhappy about. I think he's given West Ham a free kick here. Everton are complaining again. Devonshire trying to force it back from Gidman, and he's offside anyway. Eastoe. The previous sending off in a semi-final was Nick Martin of West Brom against Ipswich in 1978. But I think that's only the second in about over 30 years. And Andy King actually held somebody off pretty painfully there as well. That was Asa Hartford who was the offender when the man finally went down. There goes Brush. Ross in the way. Bonds. Stuart Pearson is the man who was injured by Asa Hartford, and Hartford now strapped with Paul Allen. Seemed to me as if Hartford caught Stuart Pearson as they parted with his elbow. Pearson is still being checked by the referee as play goes on. This is cross. Holland. Devonshire. Another very strong run from him. Oh, a deflection on the shot might give it to Brooking, but Hodge is there first. And this goalkeeper has had a quite superb afternoon. That save from Billy Bonds, which would have made the score 1-1 had the header gone in. Well, that'll be remembered by Evertonians for a very long time. 20 minutes to go. West Ham a goal down, but still coming forward. And don't forget, they're playing against 10 men. Brooking is in space here. Pearson in the centre. Pearson's coming in. It's there. Pearson, near post. A goal superbly made by Brooking, and typically tucked away by the former England centre-forward, Stuart Pearson. Brooking beat the offside trap, He was so aware of what was in the centre. He kept calm, carried the ball through and just knocked it into the near post, and Pearson scores what has to go down as a typical Pearson goal and a typical West Ham goal. The score now then 1-1, and we're back where we started. 20 minutes to go. And for incident, this must be one of the most eventful semi-finals for some time. Hartford. That sending off could be costing Everton very dear indeed. And West Ham get their reward for dominating the second half. Devonshire. Now it's Eastoe, and Andy King is, I think, being asked to play up with Eastoe now that they've finally reorganised with Kidd gone off. Cross. And Holland on the right, and in this mood, West Ham could go on and win it. The balance of the game, the psychological sway of the match is in West Ham's favour. Jeff Pike is warming up. Pearson actually scored the goal a couple of minutes after receiving quite a bad knock on his left shoulder. And he's gone down again now. The Everton fans trying to urge their side back into the ascendancy because they had it at one time, but now they've lost it. Eastoe, King, Ross, Gidman's made a run down the right. He hasn't made too many of those this afternoon. And in his space now is Brooking, and Devonshire with the fullback out of position. Cross is in the middle, Brooking is trying to get there as well. Still Devonshire, here's Brooking. Cross pulling away, far post, knocks it back in. Pat Holland up with the goalkeeper. Bonds up with Eastoe, here's King. Eastoe again. Ross looks for Megson. Cross goes Brush. That's a corner. Well, we've seen the game turn once. Shall we see it turn again? Everton's chance now to exert some pressure on West Ham. Taken by King. Eastoe's there, it's his second free header. They failed to mark him twice now, West Ham. The first time his header was saved, the second time he couldn't even get it on target. And those two headers, had just one of them gone in, could have turned things around completely. Bob Latchford is warming up for the second time. Megson, Devonshire. Holland, who's played so well out there on the right. Devonshire again, and the back heel finds Holland following up. Holland's shot! Side netting. But what a great move. He began that, Pat Holland, by playing the ball down to Devonshire. He just kept running and the ball was back in his stride. And he's rapidly making himself a candidate for man of the match. 15 minutes left. Cross to Stewart. Stewart's cross. Bonds! Just couldn't stretch far enough to turn it inside the post. What a great run from the back, though, by the West Ham captain. And he's been principally responsible for this stirring second-half performance by the second division side. Substitution now by Everton. Gary Megson is going off, and Bob Latchford is coming on. Latchford has scored in every round of the FA Cup, as I was saying earlier, and he's being asked to do so again now to put Everton back where they were. That was crossed to Brooking. Oh, Pearson offside. Offside. Another knock for Pearson. Referee's saying you're either fit enough to get on with it or you've got to go off for treatment. And Everton's spirit, which was so high at half-time, has been dampened in this second half, especially by the sending off and by the way West Ham have got hold of the match. But at 1-1, anything can still happen. Latchford. King. Oh, and Andy King spoiled that. And a substitution now by West Ham. Stuart Pearson is going to hobble off, and he'll be replaced by Jeff Pike. This is Brush. Devonshire to Brooking. Pike has joined cross up front for West Ham. It's a straight switch of him for Pearson. That's Bailey. That's Latchford. Allen. Cross to Brooking. Brooking engineering so much in the second half and nothing more important than the goal. Flag was up for offside there anyway. Stewart. Good play by Hartford. Oof, he nearly got his toe in. It was Paul Brush that made a very timely interception. Here's Devonshire. Brought down. The second tackle was by Hartford, the one that really mattered. And here's Devonshire. Holland. Oh, Paul Brush free on the left. Pike going towards the near post, cross to the far. Pat Holland picking it up again. Here's Allen. West Ham able to spread the play wide on either side. Bonds out to Stewart. Still Stewart. Bonds. Offside, I would have thought, against Cross. So, remarkably, the two men who've scored the goals in this semi-final are both off the field. Kidd sent off and Pearson taken off injured. And they've left the match standing at 1-1. 10 minutes left. Latchford pestering Alvin Martin. Referee says no foul. Devonshire. Holland. Oh. And that's a nice bit of play by Trevor Ross until Billy Bonds came across. Nicely done too by Holland to Allen. West Ham have played some splendid football in the second half, on a day of considerable tension. Here's Hartford. That's Latchford. And Hartford again. Now Andy King's got some room in the centre. Can be knocked back to him. And here he comes, and Brush did terribly well. He may appear to have panicked, but he didn't really, because he was out on his own against two forwards. Easter was in there first as well, and then Andy King was waiting for the knockback, and Brush deprived them both. In the process, he was injured. Referee allowing the trainer to come on. Both teams now have used their substitute. But bear in mind that Everton have played, certainly for the last 20 minutes or so, with only 10 men. That magnificent Holt End at Villa Park, one of the great banks of terrace support in the country. And while the Everton fans try and urge their team back into a good position, West Ham defending for the moment from a throw-in by Gidman. Lyons is up on the near post. Devonshire. In the way was Lyons. Allen, Easter, and Alden Martin was there. This is Stewart. There are 7 minutes to go in the way Lyons. Lofted high for the two front runners, but Bonds again a tower of strength. Brooking. King, this is Bailey. Latchford's got Eastoe behind him, but it's away by Martin. Pike jumping against taller defenders. Bonds up with Eastoe. Now Brush. Offside. Oh no, he's not. Cross and Pike both got the better of the Everton defence there, and the linesman's flag stayed down. Don't think either of them properly realised they were okay. It was Latchford who was fouled. Free kick to Everton with 6 minutes to go. Well, you are reluctant to talk about a replay because so much has happened in this match. But there's still time for more. Hart to take the kick. Good throw by Phil Parks, sets Alan Devonshire away. Three other West Ham players are up, but he's being forced across by Gidman. Here's Brooking. What was meant for Pike at the near post, cut out by Andy King, and on the break it could be 2 against 2 if Eastoe can play it quickly, but they're back now. Gidman